everyone, welcome back to A Joyful Scrapper. This is Amanda. Today we're going to be doing another one of Christy's Beautiful Lives Best of 30 Days of Sketches. Today this is what our sketch looks like. It's designed by Suzanna Lee. Really cute with a bunch of banners hanging down on the bottom. What I am probably going to do though is I am probably going to flip the sketch this way and change a few things just because my photos are excuse me, actually all horizontal photos. I don't take horizontal photos. My husband does, and he is the one that took these photos. So I'm gonna just flip up the sketch just a little bit to account for these 4 photos that he took of he and my daughter out kayaking. So for these photos, I chose to use a kit from Echo Park called Walking on Sunshine. I've had this kit for a little while now, and I've used it here and there before, and I'm looking to really try and start using up some of the kits that I have here. And I want to really dig into my Echo Park because I went a little crazy a couple of months ago when they had a warehouse sale and pretty much got pretty much everything that they had there. And so I have a lot of Echo Park, and funny thing is that I'm not super into cutesy papers, and they tend to have a lot of cutesy papers. So I'm going to try and use some of this stuff up that I have here, and I'm gonna start with this collection. So anyway, let me go ahead and get started. Well, first of all, I can tell you what sort of my starting plan is this yellow paper here I want to use as my main background. It just feels like a really nice base to help pull in all of the rest of the colors of the collection. So I want to use this yellow one for the background. The back is beach balls, but that doesn't really work with my photos, so I'm not going to use the beach ball paper. So I'm going to put that, and I think that I would like to use this as my frame around the outside. I like how it looks like it has waves and it looks like water, which they are on the water. So I want to kind of do like this. The back of the blue is this one here. So I'm going to gut this one because I may actually use one of those. We'll see. And then for my stripes, or I'm sorry, my banners, I love the fishies. So I'm definitely going to use one of these for my banners. The back has really nice like scale looking, so I definitely want to use that as well. Then I have a piece of this orange that I've already used before, but I definitely want to use this again, and I absolutely love the lobsters on the back. I don't know if I will be putting them in there because they really weren't doing anything lobstery, but I love it so much I might end up putting a strip in. Who knows? We will see on that one. And then this one has all the little direction arrows, and I felt like this was appropriate because, you know, they were kind of going all along this little lake. So where our house is situated, you know, we have Galveston Bay, which is, you know, part of the Gulf. And so we have Galveston Bay a couple of miles away from our house. Sorry, that's my dog, Fiona. And one of the cats is trying to get in the room, so she decided to respond to that. Anyway, we live close to Galveston Bay, and off from Galveston Bay, there's a few lakes that kind of feed into it, and our subdivision butts up to one of those lakes. So they were actually kayaking along this lake that goes up to a bayou that has lots of cool creatures and things like alligators. I don't think they're very cool, but my daughter thought they were cool, so they went kind of, I don't know if they were gator hunting, but they saw like 6. So but they did kind of go all over. So I like these the direction arrows here. And then the back is this red with white polka dot on it. So I could probably pull in both of those as well. This is just a cut apart sheet here with, it looks like 2x3 cards, but I thought maybe I could cut out some of like this going places and gotta love this stuff like that. Okay, and then I could use those throughout the layout. The back is green. I could put that in because there's quite a bit of green, but we'll see if I need it or not. And then I want to try to use these stickers as my ephemera. I don't have the ephemera pack for this, I don't think. I guess I should look through and make sure that I don't have it. I don't think I do, but if I do, I'll pull it out. Definitely want to use these oars. Okay, since they had a paddle, of course theirs was like one paddle. And, but I definitely want to use these in some sort of way on there. There's a lot of stuff I think that I could use on here. So that's my plan. And so let me get started on some things. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to mat my background, and I'm going to cut out my banners, and then I will be back to put things together. All right, guys, so off camera, I went ahead and matted my yellow onto the blue paper so that I have my complete background, and I also cut out each one of the banners in different printed papers that came with that collection. So I went ahead and kind of pre-organized them in the way that I wanted them. So you see me now just kind of sticking them into place to where I wanted them. I also roughed up the edges a bit as well so that they did not look so straight, because as you know me, you know I'm not here for that. I will say that this layout, I struggled with this quite a bit because this is not my normal style. I don't tend to be really big into a lot of pattern papers. I like how it looks when other people do it, but I struggle to do it myself. So I do struggle quite a bit with this layout in getting it to look like me. And in the end, I don't really feel like it looks like me, but it's still cute. At this point, I am just cutting down those banners so that they are not too long to fit behind my photo. I went ahead and cut out some part of me doing that so that you didn't have to watch all of it. I'm really struggling to keep my videos short. I've been experimenting with different ways to shorten the time of my videos, but I am really stuck around 20 minutes and I can't seem to get it any shorter, even when I cut out a lot of stuff. So I think part of the thing is I'm using iMovie, and iMovie will only allow me to double my speed. So if any of y'all have a different video editor that you're using for your scrapbook pages that helps you to speed it up just a little bit more as you're going through, can you drop me a line in the comments and let me know what you're using? I do have an iPhone, so it would have to be compatible with that, but I really would like to look at some other options that may allow me to speed some of this up so that I can leave stuff in for you to see, but also it doesn't take quite as long to watch, because I know that it gets kind of painful when it's too long. So if you have some suggestions, let me know in the comments of different apps that I might be able to use for photo editing. Okay, so I did take a border strip from the sticker sheet that came with the kit, and I put that up above where the photos are going to lay, and I tacked on my photo. For my photos, so what I did was I just matted them one time on white, and that's just because when I printed the photos out, a couple of them did not have a white border and a couple of them did. I had 4 to begin with. As you can see, I cut it down to 3. Oh, and I decided not to flip the sketch. I was going to originally flip the sketch and use all 4 photos, but when I started doing that, I did not really care for how that looked. So I decided not to, and I left it the way that it is, and I used just 3 photos. So I did stick that little border strip. It looks like waves from the sticker sheet up on the top, and I think it looks really cute and it goes along well. I also took a couple of oars that they had, and I apologize for the fact that half the time the bottom part that I'm working on right now is off camera, and I didn't realize that I was working off camera, so I really apologize. I think I pushed it up now so you can see that I added a couple of oars to the bottom, the ones I said I wanted to use. I combined them into one long paddle, which is what you use when you kayak. You don't use like the separate oars. So I tried to kind of put them together so that they would look like the paddle that you use when you kayak. And I also took one of my big thickers, I think it was thickers, I apologize if it wasn't thickers, but one of my big alphabet that says adventure on it. And I took a couple of stickers also, and I think it's already up there. I took a sticker that says summertime from the sticker sheet, and right now I'm putting up that red polka dotted umbrella. It's hard for me to see because when I do my voiceover, it says recording like over half of the picture, so I can't hardly see what I'm doing down on the bottom there. I do a lot of cutting in and out here with when I am getting especially my stickers off that sheet, y'all. I stared at that sticker sheet forever and ever and ever trying to find things to pull for this, because whereas it is summertime, there was a lot of like beach and playing on the beach, which was just fine, but they weren't technically at the beach. They were kayaking in a little lake. And so I was trying to find stuff that would show that, but I really have nothing that's lake-like at all in my stash, which I should probably rectify since we do have these little lakes around us. I mean, they are all feeding into the Gulf, so, well, into Galveston Bay technically, and so they're all kind of part of the same body of water, so I guess I could say lake or sea or beach or whatever, but they just didn't feel appropriate. Though I do know my daughter was wearing, I guess she was wearing some like water shoes, but my husband generally wears flip-flops when he goes out in case he falls in the water. So the flip-flops actually work for this layout. So that's like those flip-flops came, I think I got them at Hobby Lobby a year or so ago, and I've been kind of working my way through the pack. I have one more set of flip-flops left to put down. And I tried to use them on this page. You'll see either I did it already or you'll see it coming up that I wanted to try to use both sets of flip-flops, but they didn't fit. So instead, right now, I'm grabbing some of my gorgeous canvas flair from Scrap and Happy Studio. The first one I put up there is a cute little crab. Excuse me, I don't know how well you can see him as I'm working because I know I sometimes went off camera, but you'll see it a little later. It is the most adorable little crab, and these are the canvas flair buttons, so they do not have the shine that the normal flair have, the epoxy flair, but and these also, like when you do splatters, these ones, it also soaks in the splatters and it looks really cool. So the canvas flair are really, really fun. And I do end up using a few of these canvas flair, which I'm really happy about. I love to be able to stick my little homemade goodies on here, and I love supporting our other scrapping friends. So I love to use their products. At this point, like I said, I'm kind of digging through stuff. I was really struggling with what I wanted to put on this and finding things that seemed appropriate. So I'm working on a second little cluster there with the flip-flops. I was just working with that. I put another little banner there that says Lazy Days, and it's underneath a banner that said Beautiful Day. And so up there, I just added another little sticker that says Splish Splash. And in just a second, I'm going to add another sticker from the sticker sheet above that reads Summer Bucket List, which kind of it is because my daughter had been talking about wanting to kayak for quite a while, and she wanted to learn how to kayak. So my husband's been taking her out and teaching her to kayak, and she's been having a really fun time doing that and learning how to kayak. That little fishy there, I mean, they weren't fishing, but I thought he was just so cute. And so I put him up there in the corner on a little piece of dimensional foam. So it looks like he's kind of jumping over the circular sticker back into the water. And he just looks super cute. And so I thought he deserved his little place up there on the top in that cluster. So on this page, I really concentrate most of my time on those three clusters. The one up in the top left-hand corner, the one over on the bottom where I'm not the bottom, but on the other left-hand side of the photo where I just put a chipboard piece that says Summer Fun. That's from Echo Park, and it came with their adhesive brads. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to add another Scrap and Happy Studio flare that says C, and I'm going to round it off with a third one up there on that top left hand side that says At the Shore. I felt like you didn't necessarily have to be at the beach to use these 3. So I thought they worked pretty perfectly. And let me see. So I have those 3. Oh yes, earlier I had pulled off these little starfish, and I really thought that they were cute, and I wanted to use them, but the problem was they were the exact same color as my background page. So what I did right there is I just stuck the big starfish onto a piece of white cardstock, and then I cut around it so it would have a little bit of a white border. Generally, I don't like the white borders, but for this, I felt like it really needed it to be able to pop off the page and so that we could actually see it. It still blends in quite a bit, but in person, you are able to see that white outline a little bit better than you can see them on the photos. And so they pop out just a bit more on that. Excuse me. Having a tough time with my throat this morning. So I'm just going to go ahead and I'm going to stick down all of my flair in the places that I had picked out for them. I liked how they looked there. Generally, I will tuck flair, but with this particular piece and with using the canvas flair, which are a bit thicker than your normal epoxy flair, I just kind of set them on top, and I just think they look really cute there. And I like the texture that they add to it with the canvas and everything. And I love the font on it. It's just really super cute. So at this point, this is really the last part of embellishing that I'm going to do. I took a couple of my adhesive brads sets from Echo Park. I don't remember the name of them. They were both summer themed. And I'm going to put a few of those little adhesive brads down. The first one I put down was an adorable little pair of flip-flops. That's down by the umbrella. I had really wanted to place those other foam flip-flops under the umbrella, but they were just too big and just looked kind of funky. So I did not end up putting those flip-flops on there. So I compromised with a little brad that has flip-flops. And then up underneath our adhesive flip-flops, I put a red polka dot adhesive brad, and then up at the top, it took me a minute to kind of decide what I wanted to put up at the top, but I ended up going with a striped adhesive brad that has all of the colors that are in this collection in it. So I thought that worked really cute. So here at the end, I'm going to do some splatters with Seize, what did that say? Seize the limit? I don't remember what it said now, and it was literally right in my face. Y'all saw it though. I'm just going to go ahead. I'm going to add some splatters around my my 3 embellishment clusters, and I'm starting off with a little bit bigger brush so that I get some bigger splatters. The thought in my mind was so that it would look like splashes a bit from the water. So that's why I used blue instead of any of the other colors I could have used that were in this collection. I mean, I could have used yellow, I could have used red, or like the lighter blue, but I really wanted the darker blue that would kind of match the matte and would also look like water splashing up. So the first thing I did, like I said, was use a little bit bigger brush to get those bigger splatters. You can control the size of your splatters based off from the size of the brush that you use. So if you want bigger ones, use a bigger brush, smaller ones, use a smaller brush. But with the big ones, I didn't want them to be quite so bold. So I did go over them a little bit with my paper towel to kind of dull them down. And now I'm coming in with my tiny paintbrush and I'm doing the itty bitty little splatters. And those I am not gonna dab up. I wanted those to be a little bit darker, just so that they would stick out a little bit. They tend to really blend in if you daub them up. So I wanted them to stand out a little bit more. And I'm just kind of protecting my photos with my hand because I didn't mind if some splatters got on the edges of my photos. That was okay with me if they did that. But I just didn't want them like they got a little bit far onto the photo, so I just kind of dabbed them up a bit. And that, my friends, is the finished product. Up here in a second, I am going to, oh wait, it's almost the finished product. I am adding my journaling in. All I'm doing is putting their names, where they were at, and then the date. And I paused quite a bit writing the date because I couldn't decide whether I wanted to write it in numeral form or if I wanted to write out the month. I don't know why it mattered, but I ended up writing out the month and then the year, which is just this month, so June of 2022. Okay, so that should be it. So here are a few close-ups of the clusters. Look at that cute little fish and that gorgeous flare. Aren't they just beautiful? Love those flip-flops. Just absolutely adore those things. And I have been using them all up since I got that. And I love the way the title turned out. I love the oars made into a paddle on the bottom. I just think it turned out really cute. So I hope you saw some things that you liked today and some things that you can take and use on your own pages. Thanks for watching. Subscribe if you'd like to see more or be notified when I upload. And I hope y'all have an awesome weekend. See y'all next time.